Hello everybody, this is Bilal with Hiba Learning, and in this lecture we're going to continue with career planning, and in this lecture we're going to talk about your managerial roles. If you want to go, if you don't like technical work, if you don't want to be involved in detailed, nitty-gritty technical type of work, uh, then there are other roles that you could plan ahead of time and then you won't be doing a lot of technical work. But regardless of what role you have, these roles they have a lot of demand. You don't have to be a technical person to make a lot of money to land a good job. With these jobs, you can also find good jobs, and there's a lot of demand for them. So the first one is let's get started. The first one is the project management. So when you look at all the different IT operations, usually any IT operation involves, managing different projects. So if you work on one project or multiple projects, you'll be managing different projects. So as a project manager, your role will not be very technical. You will not be writing code. You will not be doing any kind of technical work, but you will rather manage a team or maybe more than one teams of different professionals, and you will be actually managing them based on projects. So you'll have one project that you need to finish, and or you have multiple projects that you're working on. So on each project, you will have, a certain number of hours that you have available to finish that project, and you have certain resources. You have maybe one or two developers, or maybe a team of developers, 10, 15 that work on a project. And your job would be to make sure that the project is done, completed on time, and each project is not like one huge chunk of work. It's usually divided into different phases. So each phase has a deadline and it also has a deliverable. So at the end of each phase, you have to finish it in, you have to deliver something, and also you have to finish it in X number of hours. And you also have to keep your overhead low, making sure that only you utilize the folks that are assigned to the project. For example, if you have 10 developers, you can't go tell the leadership that, I can't finish it with 10 developers. I will need two more developers. Uh, I mean, technically you can, but the best project managers usually use their resources, in an efficient way to get things done. Uh, so you will have, you know, a certain budget, a certain number of talent, and a certain number of hours, and also, your time bound. So you have to finish the projects that were given to you in, a time limit that was set by the company. And as a successful project manager, once you build up a lot of experience, then you can negotiate these things, and you can have a say at the beginning if things doesn't look right. But anyway, so project management is more of managing technical work than actually doing technical work. So that is, if this is the role that you like, if you want to manage teams, if you want to manage work, if you want to manage work in different, things, then this would be the kind of role you want to go for. And I do have some videos coming for project management. And also you can just Google and search for it, project management, and you'll find like a lot of information if you want to go that route. So next would be system management. Now, we spoke earlier about system analyst, and this is the phase where once you won't be able to jump into this position right away, although you could be working as a project manager without having done any coding. But as a system manager, it's kind of difficult to jump into this role, but you can have this role in your mind from the beginning. If you want to become a system manager, you could start with this kind of work. You can start this kind of work once you learn, then you can work your way up into the company to become a system manager. Now, a system manager is more of a person that doesn't really manage the system itself, but in any company, any organization, there might be different subsystems or different smaller parts of the company that make up the entire company. And your job as a system manager would be to make sure all of those different things work together, that the company is operational. And depending on the type of company you work, there might be many different roles for system manager. And then if there are many different system managers, they might report to one CIO, your Chief Information Officer, and that person would be managing these, other system managers. Or depending on what kind of company you work with, there might be only one system manager that will also be your Chief Information Manager. So your role can be kind of overlaid. But basically, as a system manager, you manage the entire system. So you have many different subsystems. You don't directly work with them, but if something goes wrong, you have points of contact on those different systems where you bring everybody together to fix any issue or troubleshoot the issue. So there's a lot of demand for this, and also there's a lot of power. If you get into this kind of position, you have a lot of control over the company. You decide what goes in, what comes in, what systems need to shut down, what systems need to be brought in, what company can decide what systems to invest, that kind of thing. So if this is the kind of job you want, so you may want to, if you want to target for this kind of job, you would start with a system analyst. Okay, then you will work your way up to become a system manager. Okay. So the last one that I want to talk about is business analyst, and this is a totally different type of role. This is my favorite role. However, because of the learning curve and also the type of I'm not a business analyst myself, because the kind of work that I do, my work is specific to e-commerce and supply chain, and I have a different type of role that I enjoy doing. And if I had a second choice to do this different kind of work, I will be a business analyst. So as a business analyst, this is the most interesting type of work you could ever have, and there is also a lot of demand for this kind of work. So as a business analyst, your job would be to translate the business requirements of any organization into technical documents, okay, or into technical requirements. So different companies will hire you to go work with businesses and understand their need. You have business, for example, any business that they want to implement some IT, some information technology for their warehouse management, for example. And they know what they want, they know all their processes, they know the type of teams that they have in place, they know what they want, but they don't have a lot of technical knowledge. So that would be your job, to tie the things and translate those business requirements into technical documents. So first of all, you have to have a lot of knowledge about businesses, about companies, about how different companies work, the types of operations that different companies have. Then on top of that, you have to have a lot of good communication skills. And regardless of which one of these roles, when it comes to communication skills, in this slide, every role needs good communication and personal skills. As a project manager, you have to have really good communication skill to deal with your team. You have to have a lot of emotional skills to be able to manage different team members and handle things that happen uh, during the phases of the project. System managers, the same thing. You'll be working with different other teams and different other managers, so you have to have a lot of a good, very good communication skill and managerial skill and things of that nature. Business analyst is same thing. You would need to uh, have all those skills that are needed for communicating with business. And on top of that, you would also have to have somewhat, technical knowledge about the product or the company or the team that you're working with. So if you're hired by a company as a business analyst, the first month or two, you will be doing nothing else but learning the company that you work, the technology that the company is using. So you have to be very good at what you're using and learn it completely. So if there is a point of sale system, for example, that you're selling, your company is selling or promoting, you have to be actually able to use all the different capabilities of that system. You have to learn everything about it. You have to know all the limitations. You have to know what it can do and what it cannot do, and how does it get connected with other systems. You have to know somewhat, um, you know, um, some more information about other technologies that connect different things. Things like middleware, uh, you know. So if you go to a client and you present your solution, you need to be able to tell the client that, okay, by the way, this technology that we have, it has this limitation that it's doing things differently. So the business requirement is that we have to do things this way, but the product that we're using is doing it a little different, and we will be doing the same task in a different manner. And you should have the ability uh, to create different types of graphs. You have to create different types of flows. You have to show the client the entire system that you're putting together. So the business analyst person would be the point of contact between the technical team and the business. And usually it's not a good idea for a technical team to directly speak with business, and that's where the business analyst comes in. Anytime a technical person has an issue, you don't go talk to business directly. You talk to a business analyst, because the business analyst knows everything in a way, in a language that both parties understand. So there is a lot of demand for this kind of role. If you like to go to do this kind of work, if you want to become business analyst, if you want to work with businesses, if you want to provide solution for businesses, if you want to work with different products and different teams, this would be the kind of role you want to go for. And to get to this role, um, you would need to actually uh, you cannot jump on this role immediately if you just start. But what you could do is, if you want to land a job as a business analyst, my recommendation would be to work on all of these, um, especially the first section, software engineering and analyst. Work as a developer for 6 months, 1 year, learn some basics of programming. Then work as a system analyst, learn how the systems work. Okay, and it's always good to learn about networks and databases, and at least know how the software and the database are tied together. Once you build enough experience in those fields, then you would need to educate yourself about how to become a business analyst. And like I said, folks, there is a lot of demand for business analysts. And there was a client that I work for for um, a while back, and they were looking for a business analyst. They couldn't find one for 6 months. Okay, anyway, so this is like I say, this is my favorite topic. Business analyst is my favorite position, and I can talk about this more, but that's all I have for managerial, non-technical roles. And next, we will talk in details about each one of these roles. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.